Hello, everyone. So today we are going to talk about the laws of cause and effect. This is the universal law of cause and effect. And it's really talking about the fact that you cannot escape what you think about, what you talk about, and what you act on. Now, this goes so much deeper than that. But I'm going to speak to you in a way here that is going to allow you to truly understand what it is that I'm saying. I want you to envision for yourself the most perfect life that you could possibly dream or think up. So just do that for a moment. Something popped into your mind when I said that. There was, some image that came into your mind. Maybe it was you having something. Maybe it was a gigantic mansion. Maybe it was being fulfilled in some other way. Abandoning your self-will will allow you to obtain and achieve these things. So some people spend their life pursuing abundance in whatever form it is that they deem will bring fulfillment into their life. Now, what happens when these people achieve their goals and they find this fulfillment, perhaps by way of abundance in the form of money or in relationships or something else? What happens when this is done of the self is that being fulfilled in this way isn't fulfilling. When you lack these things, you believe that if you have them, you will then be fulfilled, but that is not the case. The fulfillment comes first. So you can pursue anything that it is that you want, and you will obtain it and achieve it if that is your goal and that's what your focus is set on. However, through the law of cause and effect, that fulfillment is undesirable, because what did it take to get to that place of abundance in your life? What type of effects what type of sowing did you put out that is going to be reaped for harvest? So let's say that I wanted this particular thing, but I had to do this perhaps seemingly negative thing to achieve it. Well, at some point I am going to have to reap the karma from that seemingly negative thing that I did. And so I might be living in this gigantic, beautiful mansion and have all of these wonderful things. But if I have put out negativity into the fabric of this universe that we're living in, I'm going to receive that back at some point. Whether it's later on, right now, it doesn't matter. It will be, karmically returned to me. So through the laws of cause and effect, what we send out will be returned to us. So the way that we can achieve the things, our deepest desires and our deepest wants, might seem counterintuitive, but it is by abandoning all self-will. Now, the way to achieve this, the way to do this, is through a mental cleansing of our consciousness. When we have cleansed our consciousness, then that desire for those things that we thought would bring us fulfillment changes. Because as we abandon and we cleanse our consciousness of all of the past, once we no longer have any mental clutter inside of us, when we don't have angers and resentments, when forgiveness has been given, when we've let go of sadness or victim mentality, and we've cleansed all of these things, and we've cleansed the negative expectations of the past, because subconsciously we expect our past to repeat itself. When we've cleansed away these expectations of the past, we are then living in alignment with the divine creator. If you have no mental clutter in your human mind, you have mind control of your mind, and you decide what it is that you allow in, and what you're receptive to and what you're not receptive to. When you abandon your self-will and you live under the will of the Father, of the divine creator, then very quickly this fulfillment comes into yourself, so much so, and that fulfillment is all that you desire, and it's all that you want. And then all things shall be added unto that. The Father's will is for you to have fulfillment, and to be provided for and nourished, and cared for at the deepest, most intimate parts of you. And so when you abandon your self-will and you're living in the will of the divine, by way of having removed all of the mental clutter that is clouding the visible reality of your world, you then have much fulfillment. And by abandoning self-will and thinking, this fulfillment is so fulfilling for you, all that you want to do is share it with others, then all things are provided for you, because you expect them, and you believe in them, and you believe that you will be cared for, and that you will be taken care of. And through this powerful belief, it comes to fruition in your life. And through that mental cleansing, you realize that you have been the cause of all of the effects that you've seen in your life, that you have created them through mind control, having your mind be in control, and allowing your ego to dictate what your mind thinks about. That mind control has got you to where you're at right now. If your life is undesirable right now, it has been created by you, through your self-will. Let me give you an example of the ego and what it does. If someone has done something to me, my ego says, I want revenge on that person. This person has harmed me. I'm a victim of this person. And then resentments start to build up. Anger starts to build up. Frustration, even confusion. Why did this happen to me? All of these things start to build up. And those negative things, which we were the original creator of, then are projected again out into the fabric of the universe, and they will come forth into our lives through a visible manifestation. They will become visible reality for us at some point. And so it's like we keep repeating the past over and over. So I created this negative circumstance by thinking, by fearing that it might happen, by believing that it might happen, maybe by speaking about it or by acting on it. And I created it through my own worries and my own fears. But yet, when it then comes to fruition and it is now visible reality in my life, I play the victim role, and I blame the other person or people for what they have done to me, when it was truly my own thoughts, my own mind control or lack of mind control. But you always have mind control of your mind, that created this visible reality that I'm now witnessing and experiencing and living in. So it is through a deep, and I mean deep, look at your inner self and realizing that there is nothing that wasn't of your own making and creation. Now, this does not apply to childhood. If you came in and you had an undesirable childhood, this was very more than likely karma from a past life. And we might look at things as being negative. Let's say that I was traumatized from my childhood. Well, I might look at that as a negative thing, but it's not. We came here to learn lessons. And so we needed to set things up so that we could learn those lessons and gain growth from them. So this negativity, this traumatic negativity that you may have experienced in childhood, once you've learned the lessons and you've healed from it, you should then be very thankful for that experience, because if you didn't have that negativity, you wouldn't have had the growth. You would have had no need for that growth. So what a wonderful gift that negative traumatic experience can be in your life when you allow the lessons to come through and you heal the burdens of it, which is the negativity and the anger and the resentment, and giving the forgiveness and all of those things. So when we can identify that what we are currently living in is a creation 100% of our own making, then we can proceed forward in a new and better way, and we can have mind control of our mind, what we allow ourselves to think about. If you think of every single thought that you have as being a boomerang, I know I've said this a million times, but if you think of this, if you think of your thoughts as a boomerang, that I'm sending this thought out, and visibly at some point I'm going to see that thought be returned to me, then you will be very careful. You will gain control of your mind, because you will see its importance, and you will carefully and thoughtfully think about things using your mind control and your mind power. You will be so much more thoughtful about it. Now, if you expect if you're expectant of negative things coming to you, you will not have to look very far to see that the visible reality in front of you shows you those expectations clearly. Now, when you shift those expectations and you believe that better people, better conversations, better communication, better, more wonderful things will come into your life, into your world, then those expectant beliefs will show up and they will become your visible reality. When you doubt these things, when you doubt the wonderful good things, you have then cut that wonderful thing from coming to you through your doubt, because that doubt is fear. It is a fear of, I believe this wonderful things, but I fear that it won't come. And we cannot live in fear and love at the same time. We only get to choose one. Now, I understand that this is very difficult to do for those who are living in doubt and have not experienced this for themselves. This wonderful love of the divine and instant manifestations and instant miraculous things. I know that doubt can be very prevalent. So this is a process that takes time. This is a series of cleansing mentally the events from your past and the expectations that you have because of those events. It is a small bits of work every day that lead you to this process of being able to visibly see your reality in and experience this reality visibly in a new way. It is small baby steps that it takes daily. It is your intention behind it. So think about the most negative trait or the most negative emotion that you are currently carrying. The way to identify this is which emotion is affecting you negatively the most, the one that doesn't feel good. So if there's anger that's prevalent, then that could be a good one. And so then, provided that this anger is holding you back and not propelling you forward, then it is something that needs to be cleansed mentally from your consciousness. And so the best way to do this is to go back into the past and heal it and cleanse it away through seeing it in a totally new perspective, viewing it for the gift and the lessons that it's provided for you, rather than the bad or the damage that has been done because of this negative emotion. So if we take these small steps daily to cleanse away these little things, even if you took 5 or 10 minutes daily to do little exercises that help to cleanse your consciousness, think about where you will be in a year or in 2 years or in 3 years or in 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or 7 years time or 8 years or 9. It goes on and on and on. If you just set aside this time for yourself daily, 5 or 10 minutes, how big of an impact that will actually have on your life. This perceived reality, this visible reality in which you're currently existing in, is in perfect alignment with where you are currently, mentally, emotionally, spiritually speaking. Mentally and emotionally, currently where you are, the visible reality that you're living in is in perfect alignment with you. So if you are perceiving this as bad, then you need to look at your mental consciousness and see what limits you have placed on yourself, because these limits are causing your visible reality. Sorry, I'm channeling, so I know that I'm like blinking excessively, but my eyes are open, so that might look a little bit creepy. Anyways, this visible reality in which you're perceiving can be changed instantly, miraculously, through belief. The beliefs that we hold dearest to us dictate our reality that takes on visible form. If we have a belief in sickness or illness, we will visibly be able to see that sickness come into fruition in our life. Even if we fear illness and sickness, that fear, that emotion, that feeling, that fear is like a boomerang, and it goes out, and it is believed by the universe that this is our want. We have free will. So when we put this out there, the visible reality that is returned to us from that fear is what we feared the most. It's important to note that for some people, sickness is the most massive growth they will experience in their life. And therefore, nothing is bad or good in all of reality, because that sickness, which may come from deep or heavy sadness or anger or resentment or some other type of emotion like fear or worry or stress, um, can cause such massive and wonderful things in our life if we allow it to let the visible reality that is returned to us give us lessons. And these lessons are gifts. They're wonderful things that are meant for us. So there is no bad or good. The limits that we have placed on this current life and the lives that we've lived in the past have all been limited through our mind control, through the power of our minds. So when we can gain control of this power, this mind control, when we can gain control of our mind control, then we can get into alignment with a reality that is desirable for us. And by abandoning all self-will, once we've mentally cleansed our consciousness and become illuminated through this process of mental cleansing, then the reality, the visible reality that is in front of us changes to much more desirable and wonderful. And yes, things can pop up in our life that can make us doubt us creating our reality. But if you're truly and deeply honest and you look deeply within your own consciousness, you will see that the reality in which you currently reside has been of your own making. This can be difficult for some people to accept because it's not fun to know that we created all of this. But because we did create it, and therefore the reality that's visible, this visible matter that we are seeing in front of us was of our own creation, we then can create better lives for ourselves, more desirable lives for ourselves, lives that are in alignment with the divine will. And what a wonderful gift that is to the world. So, sorry, that was different there with my eyes open. Anyways, holy, time flew by there. Thank you guys for this lesson today, for tuning in to all my eye fluttering and weirdness. You're welcome. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all. This was about the visible reality, so about cause and effect, what you think about, what you talk about, what you speak about, what you act on. You cannot escape this reality. It is creating the reality in which you currently reside. And so cleansing away the past, the mental cleanse series, very important series to work through so that you can let go of and cleanse and heal the past, and that you can do it all for free. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel, and I will see you guys again very soon. So much love to all of you. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. The divine just loves you so much. And just remember this, that the divine is in everything, even this invisible love that's all around you, this air. As you breathe it in, if it wasn't here, you'd be dead. It's made of pure love. It's in everything. You could even do a meditation purely focused on that, and just close your eyes and just breathe in the love that is sustaining and keeping you alive, that is in every single energetic molecule and all the apparent space, in everything that exists. This is where the divine is in every single thing. And the divine is just pure love, the most heavenly love you could ever envision. Visibly in your life, you will begin to see a reality change as you cleanse away the past and the expectations of the past. Everything will begin to change for you. Not because it changes because it's just cleansed, but because you expect different and you have mind control, because your mind is dictating your reality, and visibly all the things within your reality. So anyways, I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.